Hello everyone. So today let's discuss the topic fruit formation. Okay. So what is actually fruit? It is the ripened ovary that develops after fertilization. Okay. It is a true fruit or eucarp if the fruit develops from a superior ovary and possesses the functional seed. That means the seeds which can give rise to a new plant but does not have any additional floral parts attached to it. As for example, grapes, mango, etc. Then that type of fruit we call it as a true fruit. Okay. Now in false fruit, the accessory fruit or the pseudocarp, the fruit is developed from inferior ovary and it contains functional seeds and possesses other floral parts like fused perianth, thalamus and peduncle. Okay, as for example mulberry, apple, cashew nut, etc. Again, parthenocarpic or seedless fruits. Here fertilization is not required for fruit formation and the seeds are either absent or non-functional. As for example banana. Now banana seed is absent and if it is present then these are non-functional seeds. That means though that particular seed is unable to give rise to a new plant. Now a fruit has two parts. Okay, a pericarp and seed. Pericarp, that is the wall of the fruit ovary, and seed, that is the ripened ovule, which we have already discussed in our last class. A mature pericarp, it may be fleshy or dry, and in fleshy fruits the pericarp may remain undifferentiated or it may possess three layers. Outer is called pericarp, middle is called mesocarp and the inner layer is called the endocarp. Again the fruit may be simple fruit, okay, if it develops from a single ovary present in a flower. As for example mango, grape, these are simple fruits. Or sometimes fruit develops in a cluster due to polycarpillary apocarpous condition of the flower. Then those particular flower fruits are known as the aggregate fruits. Okay. As for example custard apple, calotropis, etc. And sometimes the fruit develops from the inflorescence. Then we call it as a composite fruit. Okay. As for example mulberry. So these are the different types of fruits: simple, aggregate and composite. Now let's see the different subdivisions of these three basic types of fruit. So first is the simple fruit. So simple fruit, as we have already said, it develops from a single ovary of the flower. Now it is subdivided into, first division is echinal fruit. Okay, echinal fruit means these are simple, dry, indehiscent and single seeded fruits. Okay, now as you can see this diagram, this is the structure of an echinal fruit, that is echin. Okay, it is observed in case of Mirabilis jalapa 4 o'clock plant. It has a thin dry pericarp. Okay, this you can see, this is the pericarp. It is attached to the seed only at one point and develops from the monocarpillary pistil, having superior unilocular and uniovule. That means here only single ovule is there which is getting converted into the seed. Okay, then next is caryopsis, which we observe in case of maize. Here the pericarp is thin, completely fused with seed coat and it develops from monocarpillary pistil with superior unilocular ovary. Next one is cypsela, which is also called inferior, false and pseudocarpic echin. Okay. Here the fruit wall attached to the seed at one point and the fruit develops from inferior unilocular and is uniovule. That means single ovule is present. So here a single seed is observed. Okay. Now here some pappus develops for dispersal, as for example dandelium. Okay, also we observe in case of sunflower this type of fruits which will help in dispersal. Now as you can see, these are the pappus, this is the fruit. So these particular structures will help in dispersal of the fruit. Next is the nut, that is it is a single seeded indehiscent dry fruit. Okay, Here the fruit wall is hard and woody, and the hard pericarp, it encloses the edible seed having two large cotyledons, as for example cashew nut. Okay, now you can see this is the lychee fruit. Here also the fruit is nut, okay, or the cashew nut which you can observe. Okay, this is the fleshy thalamus and this is the nut, that is the type of echinal fruit. And the last one is the samara. It is a single seeded indehiscent dry fruit. Here the pericarp bears membranous outgrowth called the wings for wind dispersal, as for example soria robusta. Okay, or in Haloptelia also we can see. So this is the fruit of the, which we call as samara. Here the seed is present. Okay, these are the winged pericarp which help it for wind dispersal. Okay, now next the second type is the capsular fruit. Capsular fruit means here it is many seeded fruit, dry simple dehiscent fruit. Here the pericarp splits open to expose the seeds. So the first one is the legume. Okay, so this you can see, this is a legume. Here the fruit formed from superior unilocular ovary of a monocarpellary pistil, and the fruit dehisces by both dorsal and ventral sutures, as for example pea. So the pea fruit is a legume. Then next is the follicle. Okay, this one is the fruit of follicle. It develops from superior unilocular ovary and it dehisces by ventral suture. Okay, now these are the seeds. Okay, this is the line of dehiscence, as for example larkspur. Then next is the siliqua. Diagram C you can see, this is the siliqua fruit. Here it is few seeded, short and flat. Okay, as we get in case of capsula. And last one is the silicula. Okay, which siliqua is observed in case of mustard. Okay, extremely sorry, this is observed in case of mustard. It develops from a bicarpellary superior bilocular ovary. And silicula, this one, it is observed in case of capsula. It is a few seeded, short and flat silicula. Okay, so these are the different types of capsular fruit. Then third one is the schizocarpic fruit. Schizocarpic fruit, these are many seeded dry and simple fruits which break up into single seeded parts. Their indehiscent parts are mericarp and dehiscent parts are known as cocci. Okay, it is divided into many types. Now this is the lomentum. The fruit has a beaded appearance due to the presence of constrictions in between the seeds. Okay, this observed in case of groundnut. Then next one is the cremocarp. It develops from an inferior bilocular ovary. Mature fruit breaks up into two mericarps and remain attached to a central axis or carpophore. Okay, as observed in case of fennel. Okay, then next is the carcerulus. This one is carcerulus. Okay, it develops from a superior bilocular or multilocular ovary as observed in case of nasturtium. Then next one is a compound samara. This one, as you can see, it's a winged fruit which splits at maturity into single seeded winged mericarps. Okay, as for example maples. Then next is the regma. Here the fruit breaks up into single seeded dehiscent part called the cocci. Okay, so these are the different types of schizocarpic fruits. The next type is the simple succulent fruit. The simple succulent fruits, here the pericarp and other parts are fleshy. First one you can see in case of berries. Okay, first type is berry. Here the pericarp is fleshy and is differentiated into outer epicarp, middle mesocarp and inner endocarp, as for example tomato. Okay, then here again we find pepo, which is false berry. Okay, where exocarp does not separate from the mesocarp, as for example the cucumber. Then hesperdium, it is a many chambered, each chamber covered by papery endocarp, as for example lemon. Then drupe. Drupe is a stone fruit. Here the pericarp is divided into 3 layers: epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Okay. Here endocarp is stony, as for example mango. And the next one is pome. It is a simple succulent fruit that develops from inferior compound ovary, as for example apple. Okay. Next is the aggregate fruit, which develops from a group and individual in groups, and individual fruits are called the fruitlets. The cluster of fruitlets are called iterio. Okay, so this you can see, this is the iterio of achenes, okay, which we observe in case of strawberry. This is the iterio of berries, as we observe in case of custard apple. Iterio of drupes in raspberries. Okay. Then iterio of follicles, iterio of samara, these are also present. Then next we come to the composite fruits. Okay, composite fruits, that means the fruits which develop from the inflorescence. Okay, so this type of fruits are observed in case of mulberries. As you see, this is the inflorescence which is developed into fruit. In case of pineapple, okay, this is also a composite fruit. Then fig. So all these are different types of composite fruits which develops from the inflorescence itself. So we have till now discussed different types of fruits, okay, which are the ripened ovaries. So their structures are different, their mode of developments are different. Some develops from the ovaries, some from the inflorescence. So go through each part very properly. Okay, study it clearly, go through the diagrams also properly, and if you have any problem then please let me know.